What are your first steps to do something about the system? I disagree with most of what you say, but I'd love a vague explanation of starting the reset you desire. It's not about a reset, although, wouldn't that be great? Billy Talent 74. It's not about a reset. It's more about self-reliance and relying on your community, building mutual aid, creating mutual defense situations, learning about your community and actually caring about your neighbors, ethics of care. You can even create a food sharing or food system or food like a food pantry for your neighbors, community gardens. They might sound stupid and little, but these are things that limit your reliance on the government because they're not coming to save you. And when the government gets out of control, because they will and they do, then you have a group of people who have the means to survive and the means to defend yourself. That's important. I'm constantly working to try to be part of my community, even though sometimes it's such a pain in the ass because I disagree with so many people and I have to hold my tongue in order to live in a community. You have to build those connections with people because when push comes to shove, when the Nazis come to your door and you're not doing anything about it, you have to start agreeing with people as far as like a tacit agreement. I mean, of if somebody comes from you, I'm going to protect you, or I'm going to do X, Y, Z, whatever, stuff like that. We don't do enough of that in this country. This is like step one, building community. When you talk about like what are my first steps, those are the first steps. That is not the end all be all, right? The first step is building community and starting kind of gift economy. Just the start of it. Just borrowing shit from each other, starting a tool lending library. It's so cool. If somebody's got a lot of tools in your neighborhood, they don't use them all the time. Wouldn't it be awesome if all of you guys knew each other and you can all go to Joe for tools? But Joe might not be good at, I don't know, baking bread, or I don't know, maybe Joe doesn't know what the fuck to do with cars, doesn't know how to work on cars or something. And then Jim knows how to work on cars, and Jim's going to help Joe work on cars, and Joe's going to lend Jim some tools when he has to like do something at his house. That type of shit. It's pretty simple stuff. But you got to start there. That's first step stuff. Yeah. Reminds me of how young right-wing men think getting rich will save them from what's coming. It will not. The system bad. The system ball is birthing will crush all. Yeah, I completely agree with you, hate speaker Sargon of Akkad. Yes, you're absolutely right. Hold on, you get a higher pitch for that one. Exactly right. Reminds me of how young right-wing men think getting rich will save them. Getting rich will not save you. You're still part of the bullshit system. They don't care. And how rich do you think you're going to get? They don't care. As long as you're not a billionaire, they don't give a shit. If you're a billionaire and you're gay, you're okay. Scott Bessent doesn't have a problem being openly gay. Nobody's trying to hurt Scott Bessent because he's a billionaire and he's a Treasury Secretary. He's doing great. Or Commerce Secretary, whatever his title is. Commerce Secretary, Treasury Secretary. I think Treasury. I get those two confused sometimes. Everyone loves him. Barry Weiss. People love her. She's gay, but she's hardcore conservative, multi-millionaire, maybe a billionaire at this point, probably a billionaire at this point. Nobody cares. Doesn't matter if you're black, if you're a billionaire, totally okay. You got to be really rich. These young right-wing men think because they see people who are extremely rich that they're going to be okay, and they're not. You're not. Unless you build community. Community gardening is not going to save anyone. KCJ Bomber, totally right. It is not going to save everyone. That's not what I said. The question was, what are the first steps? First steps are use community garden. Like I don't have a community garden because none of us have real yards, but we do share like I have a neighbor who has an avocado tree and a lemon tree, and she gives me lemons and avocados, and we help each other. I'm trying to build more of that. So no, community garden's like a good example, I think, and one that I've seen work before to get people together and start working together. It brings people together on the same days, and they start creating community around each other. It's there's a lot of soft returns and hard returns when it comes to community gardening. It's not at the end all be all. Someone asked me what are the first steps. That would be like a first step, a possible first step. That's it. Yeah. How about stop crime and rest does its own shit without your kumbaya? Well, Casey J. Bomber, that's a very stupid way of looking at the world. You're just a stupid person, maybe. I'm sorry that I engaged with you now. Stopping crime is stopped by creating community and holding each other accountable in ways that are meaningful, not in hoping that the cops catch criminals. That's the dumbest fucking thing you could possibly do. They're not interested in catching criminals. They're interested in protecting property rights of the rich. That's why they're there. That's why they exist. Stop crime. You want to stop crime, you make sure everyone in your neighborhood's fed. You want to stop crime, you make sure everyone in your neighborhood is armed so that anybody who comes in from the outside trying to take your shit, you are all together. That's how you do that. That's how you stop crime. You arm all your friends and you help all your friends. That's it. It ain't that hard. Really. And sometimes feeding your friends and making sure everyone has enough looks like a community garden. And sometimes it looks like mutual defense. Like I really am trying to build a situation where I can find my neighbors who are more into gun. Anybody who knows me in person knows that I go to the gun range every week. And I want to bring more friends to the gun range. I want everyone to be familiar with how to use guns. I think that's very important. That's me. That's the value that I have in my community.